What's going on? How's it going?
It's going.
Nice. How's the day been so far for you?
We live in the same house. That's such a weird question to ask.
Well, we've been up to different things, so it's pretty normal to just...
I don't know. I
like,
woke
what's
up
up?
and I went on a doom scroll and I watched ice figure skating for like probably 35 minutes, I would say. And got really looped into these people's relationships. Anyways, beautiful Team Canada ice skating though. It's actually mind-blowing what those people can do. Anyways, and then I got up and then I got on the bike, the stationary bike for 30 minutes. And then I made myself some eggs and you didn't want any. So I had eggs. I don't know if I did anything else after that other than set myself up in my photo editing cave and I edited photos until I was about falling asleep, and then we hopped on a FaceTime with Miles Mel. We're doing some fun stuff tomorrow. And then I got like kind of ready to like look nice. Because I feel like, if I know I'm going to just be at the house and editing photos and like going on the bike and stuff, usually I like don't shower and I don't do anything. I don't put makeup on. I like stay in my sweats or I stay in leggings and a hoodie because it's just comfortable, and I don't know. I don't really try to look nice on most days. Usually I'm like, I look good. Good. But then Mark wanted to do a podcast, so I was like, maybe I should look nice for Appies tonight as well, because we're going to go over to my parents and we're going to have Appies and an early dinner.
So you're what, like 10 minutes into look good, feel good kind of thing?
Yeah.
How's it going for you?
Better. It's crazy how much it can change your mindset. I know, like, I would like to get to the point, probably like when we have kids and stuff, I won't like be doing makeup and stuff anymore, but it's crazy how much like putting on makeup and like putting on jewelry and like taking my hair out of braids that I slept in and like thinking it kind of looks nice and textured and whatever, and I like threw on a nice pair of jeans, like baggy comfortable jeans, but jeans and a nice like soft oversized sweater. It just feels cozy and but still put together, and just doing that alone I feel like can change your mindset, because I struggle to get into the mindset that like I look good, like I feel good. I struggle to get into that on my own, like without all of the extra like vain stuff. So yeah, it helps.
Do you think the combination of the workout you did this morning helped too?
It definitely helped wake me up. For sure.
But in terms of feeling good, you don't feel better?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I if I do that every single day and wake up every single morning, minus the figure skating doom scroll, then yeah, that's a great way to start your morning. It definitely makes you feel good. But like the added getting yourself ready for the day, like the more vain stuff, I feel like somehow makes me feel better. Probably because maybe I think you're going to perceive me differently, or the other people might perceive me differently. That's a big part of it. And then also I perceive myself as more beautiful, so that I'm like more confident, which in turn, helps me speak better, do things better.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I get sucked into doom scrolling first thing in the morning too. That's why like I literally do my best to keep my phone as far away from myself as possible when I go to bed. But even like keeping it in my office charging overnight, it's like when I first wake up, I always want to exercise first thing, but I always have to wait until I've gone to the bathroom first. So I always end up like, oh, okay, I'll turn the coffee machine on. And then I'm like, okay, I'll just grab my phone and like, I guess I'll just like go on Instagram for like a minute or two. And then I just like sit there.
Like while you're in the bathroom.
No, not even like waiting for the feeling to need to go. Because I just know that like within
Oh.
like 15 minutes of waking
Yeah.
up, it's gonna happen for me.
And then you're gonna have to like get off the bike or something, and you're gonna
Yeah.
have to, yeah.
So then I always just end up like sitting there, and then I'm like looking at my phone after, and I'm like, dude, that was a half hour just like sitting there, just like doing nothing on the couch in my office, looking at my phone until I had to go to the bathroom. And then of course I'm doom scrolling while I'm going to the bathroom, sitting on the toilet.
Naturally.
So that's why like for me, I'm trying to like get it in my head now to read and journal first thing until I have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then I can just like get up and go, and then after I've gone, it's like time to do my cardio.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I feel like the look good, feel good thing. I definitely for me that is just like having a shower after a workout. Once I've like had a workout and I've had a shower, I feel so good. Like I'm like instantly like I feel ready for anything.
Yeah, I think it's probably more of a woman thing to like, I don't know, maybe some men are like into the whole clothing thing and they get the clothing and jewelry thing, like a nice watch or whatever. Like they get into that, like, and they're like, oh, I look better, so I feel better. But like, you guys don't really do the whole makeup and hair thing as much.
Yeah, I feel like men do,
Like your
the
grooming
thing
is
is
different.
I think that for like women, like makeup can be like a filter or like an improvement on someone's looks, and it's gonna like help their looks or the way they feel about themselves or whatever fucking person's gonna claim the
Yeah.
reason they do it. We all know the reason why
It's-
women put makeup on.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think that the male equivalent to that of like trying to boost your attractiveness is like partly your muscles, your physique.
Yeah.
So like I think that that's why probably the male version is less to do with like altering your face, because at the end of the day when you have two men and one's face is like a 4 and the other one's face is like a 10, but
But the fours is,
the body
yeah.
of the 4 is like obviously works out, obviously
Yeah,
takes
is
care of
healthy.
himself, has discipline, has some sort of a regiment to sleep and take care of himself, like
Right.
more than likely. And then the guy with
The
like the
10
face
has
of a
like a
10,
body of a 4.
yeah, well, like whether it's like, you know, whatever that means to you, like I don't
Yeah,
even
yeah,
need to
yeah.
describe it. Like it's like, you know, I think that 9 times out of 10, most people will be like, yeah, the guy that can obviously take care of himself is going to be more attractive, not just
Right.
physically, but like also probably on a deeper level than that. Like it's
Yeah.
like obviously it's physically more attractive to see a fit physique,
But then also if
the attributes that build that physique as well.
mhm.
So like I feel like for men it's more like, I guess some guys do like they don't really like see it that way and they just flex with money, but I don't know, it depends on what they think I guess a woman is attracted to.
Well, that's what I was about to say also, is that imagine if the dude with the face that was a 10 and the body that was a 4 had
rich.
money that
Yeah.
was a 10, or you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And then the dude who had the gnarly face but the nice body was broke.
Yeah.
You know, skills would probably tip the other direction. So, yeah, I definitely agree. It's like women are valued for different traits and men are valued for different traits. So, yeah, I don't know. I think probably as a society, there's more pressure on women to be more vain. And beauty obviously is in the eye of the beholder. But for a majority, that means like you're fit, like you're semi-sexualized in certain ways. Your face looks clear and clean. You have like red lips, things like that show like health and whatever. And yeah, whatever. Also, like trends are going on right now, like big butts or whatever. You know what I mean? Like whatever it is. And then if you can like make your hair look nice, then people will be like, "Oh, you're put together." Like I've heard men be like, "Short hair is gross," or like "short hair isn't yada yada." So there's like certain traits that I feel like women become more vain because of those societal pressures and because of like biological pressures alone. Whereas for men, it's like, yeah, obviously you look nice or whatever, or you look a certain way, then women are going to perceive you as like having more money or something like that. So maybe that's also the vanity for men, is like, oh, if I wear this nice watch and I'm wearing a suit and I have like a nice cut and I look jacked, people are going to perceive me as like being financially well off, whether that be the case or not. So
Yeah. I guess the financially well off is inarguable. Like that is like a trait that people are, men want to have and women want to be with.
Yeah.
But it's like it's also something that can be faked. Like you can
Yeah.
fake
That's what
having
I'm
it.
getting at.
Whereas like in terms of a physique, like you can't really fake that.
Yeah.
Like you can get surgeries done, you can do things like that, but like the proof is always in the pudding. Like you can
Yeah.
always tell by looking at someone and be like, okay, they earned that, or like they've enhanced that.
Right. And you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, the women who go after the men who look that way without actually knowing that they are like financially steady or well off or whatever are like the same type of women who like have fake fucking faces and fake tits and all these different things and don't go to the gym but just get BBLs and get their tummy fat sucked out and stuck in their butt. Like I feel like that those are the types of relationships that are happening rather than I feel like and I can think of a few people that we even know that are like this where like the male in the relationship is like very fit but like has shown that he is willing to earn and like do all of those things and like is a steady person, is like not emotionally unwell or maybe was in the past but like has fucking gotten stronger, like things like that. And the female might even be the breadwinner or like is better financially off in the moment, but like it's the potential, like the female's going off of the potential versus like someone who's like, I don't know, already well off but like also a shitty person. Like I feel like most women are going like, can you actually be a provider when we have a family or like when we are in the position to
Yeah,
like
like
need you to be the rock or the sturdy person? Are you going to be that person? I think that's mostly what women are looking for.
yeah, like the Conor McGregor story.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. I like that a lot.
And then like for men, what do men look in like from women? Like obviously health and whatever to be able to carry children, but also like caretaking, like taking on certain responsibilities, I would assume, being there for them no matter what, like you know what I mean? Like through all the unsteady shit.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's funny how differently men and women manage their emotions, and yet each side of the relationship is supposed to somehow balance out, because I feel like as men, a lot of the time we look for our women to be able to keep us level-headed and like emotionally stable. And then the same thing is like with women, like they assume that the man is going to be the rock and and it's like, yeah, it's just this weird like kind of codependency on each other for that.
Yeah. I also see it kind of like as a female, I'm kind of like with you specifically, I'm kind of like, oh, I want him to be supportive of me while I feel my emotions. Or like if we get into a shitty situation, I want him to lead us out of that so that I don't have to bear all of that mental load. Like you would be the one. That kind of sounds shitty, but like I would hope that you would be able to be strong enough to take on that mental load. And I'd follow you anywhere kind of a deal. And then vice versa. Like I see, when we get into those situations, like you would need me to be like your rock and be like, I'm here for you and like settle your emotions and get you to be sturdy again. Or like nurture you in the way that like you would be able to be like, get back to 100% or like get back to your emotional wellness.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a weird one for sure. Do you I was going to ask you this question. I was thinking about it because we were talking with Miles and Mel about this kind of thing. But I was thinking about kind of like everyone always talks about New Year's resolutions and like goal setting and like planning and everything like that. Do you have any idea in terms of like, you can go as personal as you like with this, but it could be like generalized for anybody that's listening or anything like that. But like, do you have a plan to like kind of analyze how you felt for the past year of 2023 and like an idea of how you can feel better for 2024 if you feel like you need to?
Yeah, I definitely need to. Yeah, I've already gone over a little bit of in my little phone journal about how certain things happening this year made me feel certain ways. Just reflection in general, I think, is really important. And I mean, you drive this home all the time, but daily reflection, I didn't do that this last year. I didn't journal every day. Absolutely not. But whenever I did journal and I look back at them, it's like, oh, fuck. Like they weren't good. But I know that there were a lot of good moments. So just reflecting on both of those things is important. And then moving forward into 2024 in terms of goals, I have many of them. And some of them are a reach for sure. But yeah, I mean, it's all, I feel like for me, it's all going to be dependent on my physical health, which will then push my mental health in the right direction. And then from there, it'll push everything else and I'll be able to execute. So mostly it's physical health that is kind of a big point. And I have lots of help with that and lots of appointments coming up for those things. So feeling like I'm heading in the right direction.
Yeah, because even journaling or like daily reflection, it's like it's something that I talk about on as often as I possibly can, but it's still something that I struggle doing in terms of like doing it daily. I know like when there's times where I'm like, okay, I'm stressed, I'm anxious, I'm like worked up, whatever, like I need to journal and just organize my thoughts. But it's like it's more difficult to just do it daily, even though like I don't know. It's like every time I've tried to implement something in my life, it's been pretty easy to do. Just in terms of like, I'm just gonna do this daily from now on, and that's been one of the one things I still struggle with after like a few years of trying to do it daily, and it's weird. Even though I know the benefits of it.
Hmm. Well, I feel like that's kind of like for a lot of things for me. Like I know that it's wrong or like I know the benefits of the thing, but like I still won't do it consistently. It's kind of like it's a discipline thing.
Yeah, I guess I just haven't felt that for a while, where I've just been like, why can't I do this?
Yeah.
It's weird.
Maybe reflect on it cuz like what has happened in the past year? Like what have you been doing? What have you not been doing? And then what did you recently start doing again or what did you recently stop doing? Like what are the things?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like ultimately it comes to time management, like most things. Like it's,
Also like Christmas, dude, it's like such a stressful month.
yeah, I don't know. I don't really consider, I feel like using things like that as an excuse
It's not
personally
an
because
excuse.
there's going to be things like that all the time. Like it's
It's
going to be next month, there's going to be Miles's birthday,
sure,
Dana's
sure.
birthday.
Sure,
The
sure. That's not
following
what I'm
month,
getting
there'll
at.
be
That's not what I'm getting
Valentine's
at.
Day. There's going to be this, there's going to be
That's
that.
not what I'm getting at.
It's never going to be typical.
Slow your roll. That's not what I'm getting at. The whole point of me pointing that out to you is so that you can look back and reflect on how you were reacting to stressful events. So the whole point is like, oh, well, Christmas was coming up. Financial things were changing, like all of this shit. What was happening and how did you deal with it like personally? Like what could you control in that situation and how did you react to certain things? And then how can you change that moving forward coming up to more stressful events because like it's not an excuse. It's just you can look back and say I'm reflecting on this and like I can implement this moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, I'm specifically talking about like having a daily journal. Like, I mean, I still reflect on everything, but I'm talking about like building the habit of like journaling every single day to reflect.
And why did you stop? Why didn't you do it consistently? When did you not do it consistently is my question actually.
Um, yeah, I don't know. That's what I was kind of journaling about this morning. Is I feel like it's poor time management. That's what I
What
was
no,
saying.
when did you not do it consistently?
Monday was the first day that I didn't this week.
Before that, when did you not journal consistently?
It's whenever I felt like I didn't have the time. when I was like, oh, I'll do this later, I'll do that later. Like
So it was
I
quite a few days out of like the last few weeks. Is that why you've noticed that?
I'm saying like, oh, I'm not sure what you're asking me. Are you just asking me when was
Yeah, why
what
do
the
you think
frequency is, or what are you asking
yeah,
me?
why do you think you don't journal consistently? Because I see you journaling almost every single day.
Well, I don't.
Oh.
Yeah, there's like days or weeks where I don't.
Weeks? Okay, yeah, yeah. See, I understand now.
Yeah.
I guess I've seen you journal like almost every single day, so that was why.
Yeah, I'd say like I did it probably half the days of 2023, maybe less.
Oh, wow, okay.
So anytime I wasn't, it was just poor time management.
But you want moving forward into 2024, is that one of your goals? You want to journal every single day like without.
Yeah.
And you know what? You showed me a couple days ago your tracker that you were using.
Yeah, it looks pretty blank now. I made the tracker. It was like Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday for like 8 days worth of tracking.
Mm.
And then Monday was the day I stopped doing it. And then Friday, I journaled again.
Oh, I thought you meant just Monday you didn't do it.
No, no, no. Monday was the day I stopped. That's why I was like, what are you asking me? Because it was so unclear what the
That's
conversation was
why I
about.
was confused as well. Because when you said, yeah, Monday is just when I stopped, I thought you meant like you just didn't do it on Monday. And I was like, why are you so hard on yourself? That's what I was thinking. I was like, damn, you got to chill. Like, you're so hard on yourself. You literally missed one day. But now I understand why you're like, what the fuck is the problem?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sorry. Sorry. Okay, I understand. So you're gonna keep using that tracker, or
I don't know.
are
I was
you?
thinking about it. I was thinking about well, that was my plan moving forward, is just to do it first thing in the morning every single day.
Okay.
There's no need to do like a tracker of like when I'm doing it or what, because it's just going to be an everyday thing from here on out.
Okay. Are you gonna write down that you did it at least?
No, I'll just write in the journal.
Okay. So you'll be able to see when you didn't do it.
Yeah, because I'll have the day every day.
Okay.
So you just write the date down every day.
Hmm. So that whole tracker thing is BS. Is that?
Yeah, I kind of, I guess, yeah. I don't know. It didn't help me.
Hmm. I think personally, stuff like that helps me. Um, because I like to understand and reflect on like why I didn't do the thing. You know.
Yeah, I mean,
Other
that
than
would
just
just
like, oh, I'm
be,
a lazy piece of shit and I
that
just
would,
didn't do it.
yeah, that would just be, I mean, like, because I feel like we're saying the same thing in that, like, I also reflect on those things, and that's what the journaling is.
Right. Yes.
So the log itself
For
isn't
other
really
things though
useful.
too.
What do
I
you mean?
actually saw this daily planner that this woman was using, and I thought it was really fucking cool. And I was like, damn, I'm gonna get one of those for 2024. But it had basically like a regular calendar type planner situation, and then it had prompts for goals, and it also had a tracker, and you could write in what you were tracking, and then it like had the bubbles for like which day of the week you actually did those things. And I think her examples were that she wanted to drink a certain amount of water, and she wanted to eat a certain amount of vegetables, which I was like, that's so fuck, I'm not going to do that. Maybe the water thing actually might be good for the new year, but just certain things. She was writing down like how many days out of the week did you do these things? And then on the days of the week, she was like writing down what was happening that day, and then also your like stress levels and then your hormone levels in terms of like your cycle as a woman. That makes sense. So, yeah, I'm thinking that uh a reflection of like a tracker might be beneficial for
Yeah.
those things as well, not just journaling and not like everything, but also journaling. But I understand what you mean because you're like literally writing down your journal entry every day. So I get that.
Yeah.
It's kind of irrelevant.
Well, yeah, no, I kind of like that idea. I don't know. I'm somebody though that's just like such a perfectionist that like if
Mm.
when I'm doing things like that, if I miss a day or if I like feel like I didn't record it properly or like say like I miss like 4 days and then I want to start a new like I'm somebody that's just like too, I don't know, like fucking
Autistic.
yeah. So for me, like what works best is like daily task list, like 4 things that like if I do those things, I know I won't regret today. That's the way I think about it.
Okay.
So I don't know. I
So
do that
you,
when I
y
journal.
right. So you would rather do your journal entry, finish your to-do list for the day, basically. Like check all those things off on your whiteboard or whatever it was, and then like forget about it next day, do it all again, kind of a deal. Maybe at the end of the week, you can like fill in your thing at the end of the week. You know what I mean? Like post instead of pre-creating this thing, you
Yeah, I
like
mean
post
usually I'm doing
reflection.
that during the week anyway. I don't know. I feel like journaling itself takes off most boxes in terms of like when you know how to journal properly, most other things that people recommend are like not needed.
Can we talk about that actually? Because you journal differently than anybody I know that has talked about journaling. And I journal differently than you. When I journal, I'm like reflecting on either a specific situation that's come up for me, my stress levels for the day. A lot of the time, it's me getting out like quite a bit of negative shit that's in my mind about myself so that it's like out of my body and it makes me feel like I'm released from it. And then I'm talking a little bit about like what's been going good and like what I'm planning and like what I'm hoping for in these things. And it's mostly me getting my thoughts out on paper so that it's like, you know, I can let go of it. Whereas for you, you do like a lot of, it's more, it feels more structured. I could be wrong, but I kind of wanted to hear more about that.
Yeah. I mean, I in terms of like journaling or anything in life, conversations or like the way I do my podcast, anything like that, I don't like I don't like thinking about or speaking about negative things. I think that a lot of that is
Mm.
that will bring more negativity into fruition. I think that if you believe in God or the energy of the universe or the karmic energy, what you focus on, what you think about, what the words you say, all those things, what you give your attention to, God will give you that. So if you focus on problems, he'll show you more and more problems. If you focus on solutions, he'll show you more and more solutions. And so for me, I don't find it useful at all to dwell on negative things. If I do feel like I need to reflect on something negative, it's usually an internalized feeling or thought, and that usually is the first thing I'll write down is like I feel like shit today because of this.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I feel like this, and
That's
it's
what I
like
do.
one sentence, and then I instantly write down what I think God would say to me if I
Oh,
said
wow.
that to him. So like um yeah, I don't know. I can't think of a specific example, but if I was like, yeah, I feel like shit today because I'm not journaling very often and I know that I should cuz I hold myself to that standard of like even if it was just one day that I missed, I would be like that was a fail. That's
Yeah.
the way I view it. And
Okay.
you kind of know that about me already.
Yeah, you're very hard on yourself. Yeah.
But instantly I would write down what I think God would say to me, which is like, look, God's timing is perfect. You're doing exactly what you need to be doing. Like the fact that you notice these things is a sense that you're like moving in the right direction. Like I would write down what I think God would say to me.
So you're like giving yourself positive reinforcement so that you're not
Not positive reinforcement, advice. It's like what I think he would tell me.
okay.
Like if I came to him and I was like, "Hey, I have this fucking problem. I feel like this." What I could envision he would say to me to put me on the correct course. That's what I write down second. And then the third thing is like basically the same idea, but it's giving myself the instructions after that.
Mm.
Like kind of a clear,
A
decisive,
plan.
like different. Well, but it's different because the first one is like imagining what I think God would say to me.
Mm-hmm.
The last thing I write down is like what I would say to me. because I have a completely different perspective. I'm not, I'm not right or just or like concrete all the time. And I can't imagine myself to be like that. But I just write down like what I would say to like my friend if they were saying the same thing to me. I'd be like, you sound like a fucking pussy right now. You're fucking sitting here complaining when you have the opportunity to fucking change this. Like, you know how to do this.
Do you write that in your journal?
Yeah, I'll be
You
like,
fucking pussy.
yeah, I'll be like, don't
Yeah.
I'll be like, today I'm not going to be a little bitch about this. I write down the way I think and the way I speak.
Okay.
So I'll just write it down. Like, I'm
And
done
how
being
does
a little
that
bitch about this.
how does that help you writing down what you believe God would tell you versus like what you would tell you? And why do you put like God's words first and then yours second? And which ones do you listen to? Then I'm confused.
I I I try my best to listen to I try my best to listen to God and His Word and read the Bible as often as I possibly can, and that gives me some peace of mind and puts me in a more level-headed area of like thinking to like view the problem as an opportunity kind of thing. But just kind of puts me in a more grateful mindset of like where the opportunity lies, and then that's when my voice comes out and it's like, you have this fucking opportunity right here. Don't be a bitch. That's just the way that, and then that's where my voice comes out. And then usually after that, it's just like addressing the issue and trying to get down to as deep of a level of like, where is this issue rooted in? Because not always is it like something as simple as journaling or like wanting to do it more frequently. A lot of the times it's like deeper emotional stuff, and then it's like, then I have to dive into it. And then once you dive into it and you find the problem out, because I think a lot of people get to that level where they find out what the problem is, but then there's no other, they're just like, this is my problem now. And then after that, it's like, okay, let's build the to-do list. That's where like the daily tasks come into play, because most people will be like, oh, that's my problem. I have this trauma. I have this problem. I had this injury. I had this, thing.
And that's it.
And then the rest of the world has to cater to that. When it's really like, well, no. I know that for myself, another thing is like when I notice things repeat, and that's why frequency is so important. Because like when you notice the same thought repeat over and over again of like, okay, this, like last month I was thinking about this, or 2 months ago, or 6 months ago, or last year, I wrote down that I wanted to change this thing and I still haven't done it. Like, I need to fucking do this, or I'm just going to be a fucking pity party for the rest of my life.
Yeah, like when will it stop?
Yeah, exactly. I think that like a lot of the times people don't understand how ridiculous they are, like how ridiculous it is to like complain about the same thing over and over and over again, when you're like, I literally heard you complaining about this issue in your life 6 months ago and a year ago, and like you haven't, like you're still, no matter how much you talk about how much progress you've made, like you're still bitching about the same problem. So it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I do that shit all the time, unfortunately. And we even we even were chatting with a friend of ours, I guess, yesterday or the other day. And I was feeling that in the moment, and I even said that I was like, man, it's like hard to watch your friends say the same shit over and over and over again, and you're like, please, please. Yeah. And they were even like, yeah, I know I'm a hypocrite. I'm like, damn, man.
It's not even hypocritical. It's just like, all right,
Well,
have fun banging your head against a wall. If you notice that it hurts, you can fucking stop at any time.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. It's like, obviously, if you don't know what you truly want, but you think you should want something, like maybe just do more reflection before you start acting on dumb shit. Like if I say, how do I come up with an example without using the one from yesterday? It's like if I say like, before getting in a relationship with you, I'm like, I want someone who is like mentally stable, not in a state of like constant addiction. Do you know what I mean? Like all of these things that like I feel like I want to be so badly. Like I want someone like that. How am I going to get that? Can I go and like sleep with a bunch of random men, or can I become the person that I want to be with. Like, which one would I want to be? Okay, so I'm going to pick up another job. I'm going to work full time plus my side gig. I'm going to start my business because I want to do that. I'm going to take counseling seriously. I'm going to take self-help related books seriously and actually read them with intent. Like I'm going to train, like I'm going to do these things that like help my brain and my mental health as well as my physical health, whatever it may be. And then, I feel like things will like fall in your lap a little bit easier, or like somebody will come across, which is exactly what happened. I feel like with us is like, I started to, I mean, social media, we're in that day and age, but like I started to see your shit more often. And I was like, fuck, I like this person. I think he's super cool and what he's doing is super cool. And I'm going to message him. And I just was like, I'm just going to start a conversation. No like intent to just be like, oh, I like think you're attractive and blah, 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 even though I kind of did do that. But I just was like, I think this guy's cool. Like, I haven't spoken to him in a while. I don't know. And then I feel like things kind of fall in your lap a little bit easier when you're like chasing the right things, rather than like if I was in a state probably many, many years ago, like in my previous relationships, which always went to shit. I was in the state of like not really knowing what I wanted or like who I wanted to be. And I feel like that's where specifically that friend is in that state. So they're like doing all this stupid shit when like they really don't need to do all that stupid shit. It's like you can sit with yourself and work on yourself and figure out who you are and figure out what you want and what you want to be and how you want to present yourself to the world, and then move forward after that. Like, you don't need to rush into relationships, friendships. Like, you don't need to do any of those things or like wreck your life in stupid fucking ways when you could just take a pause for months, a year, a couple years, and just focus on you and yourself, and like maybe be a little bit selfish and figure it all out like on your own.
Yeah. I think that's like kind of a combination of a lot of different things. I think that like so many people in this like that are in our generation and that that kind of grew up with the instant gratification. I think that there's a lot of like kind of like loneliness out there. I think that there's a lot of kind of feeling like you need to have, I don't know. I think it's a combination of I think, I don't know. I'm trying to think of if I could narrow it down, but I know that one thing that contributes to it is this idea that boredom and loneliness are like somehow condemned, and we're all like super uncomfortable being alone and bored, or you hear like the cliche thing of like, oh, you don't want to be alone with your thoughts, like kind of thing, like if you listen to like those types of things. And I know that there's so many people out there that are just like kind of, they're uncomfortable being bored or alone. They can't sit in silence. They can't reflect on themselves. They have no relationship with themselves. And I think that that's kind of what is the cause of that, like kind of feeling of loneliness and boredom. I know that that's how I used to be. I was somebody that would be like, the party would end at like 2:00 in the morning and everyone would be passed out, and I'd be like, does anyone want to listen to music and talk still? Like, I didn't want to be alone. I didn't want to leave the party. I was always like physically uncomfortable if I was alone. And once I started to kind of try and get to know myself a lot better, I actually started valuing alone time. Like, it went from something that I feared to something that I actually need this now. Like, it's something that I should have. And I think that that's something that's missing from a lot of people, because anytime someone's alone or bored, they just whip out their phone. They just whip out, and then if you can go through that phone and somehow press the right combination of buttons and someone's with you, like, that is a way better, easier solution in the addict's mind than, maybe I should use this loneliness to dive into why I feel uncomfortable in the first place, and then start to use that and channel that energy into making myself a better human, so that I'm not pairing up with some girl who will just sleep with any fucking bum dude.
Yeah.
Because like realistically, the funny thing is as well, is like if you're a guy who has like a garbage physique, you have fucking no dreams or goals or aspirations. I'm not even talking like you don't have a lot of money. I'm saying like if you don't even have a dream, a
Right.
goal, like you don't
Mm-hmm.
have any vision for the future and your present doesn't look promising either, and you can get a girl to sleep with you, do you really want to be with the girl who
Yeah.
sleeps with fucking losers like that?
Yeah.
Like,
Straight up.
like that's the crazy thing is like, it's not good for anybody.
Yeah.
You're not doing anyone any good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, be the person that like. One thing that drives me a lot, and this is gonna, I don't know if this sounds weird or if this sounds right on the money, but I feel like it's my duty to for you. Like when you love someone, you're like they deserve this,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like I feel like that's like one of the biggest drivers for me is like I don't want to be the guy that's with a girl that would be with a fucking loser. So I can't be a loser. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Because you have gotten to the point where you fundamentally understand that whatever you do will affect who you're with, which will affect you. And I think the domino effect, a lot of people don't understand that. And I've fallen in and out of that before. And I think also that whole feeling of like loneliness and like when you're alone and you're not in a relationship yet and all of those things and all of those feelings, when personally when I was in that state, and even now when I get in that really like dark state of like feeling alone, feeling all of those shitty feelings, sometimes I forget how, well now, like sometimes I forget how to cope with those feelings. So it's easier for me to avoid those feelings rather than actually sit there and feel them and fucking journal it out and like figure out why the fuck I feel that way. And before, when I didn't even know how to cope with that at all, it was like basically, how can I avoid this feeling at all costs? Because I don't even know how to deal with it in the first place. And I feel like a lot of kids, teenagers, are like coming out of high school and into adulthood, and they still don't even know how to cope with the feeling of like being alone. And like they're so codependent and addicted to like their phones and constant connection and instant gratification. And I feel like we were like at the end of, or I should say at the beginning of all of that.
Yeah, we were like the cusp.
Yeah. We were at the beginning of all of that. I mean, I feel like some of us avoided it, but most of us were learning how to cope with those things like into early adulthood, being like, oh, I'm alone now. And like, I have to figure out why this feels so bad. Like, what is going on inside of me and inside of my head? And what is it about me that's like making this so shitty? How do I figure that out and how do I cope with that? And some of us went, I'm going to go get help. Like, personally, it was like, my mom was like, let's get you into counseling. I love my mom so much. Thank God for her. And she was, you know, so deep into her own like self help and improvement that she assisted all of her kids and doing all of that. But a lot of people don't have that, I feel like. And some people we know still are like figuring it out. And they're like, what, 25, 26, 27, and they're like still fucking around and doing like weird stupid shit that it's like, bro, we're showing like we're showing you and we're helping you how to cope with those things. And yet here they are. And like going back on what we were talking about before is like, I know that this is bad. Like I think I should be doing this thing, but I'm doing the complete opposite. But I know I should, and I want to be doing this and I should be doing this, but I'm going to do the complete fucking opposite because this is instant gratification and dopamine and this feels good right now. And I can't even think about what my future might feel like or look like. Like, who fucking cares? The future is over there. And that's why you feel so much fucking anxiety about the future and you don't think it's all connected.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Yeah, and that's why I was saying is like the biggest issue is that like lack of vision for the future. Like if you were to ask them
yeah.
like where do you see yourself in 5 years, I couldn't tell you like, like where I will be, but like I have some indication of like where I want to go. I've written down like what I want to do for a living, where I
Mm-hmm.
want to live, what kind of vehicle I want to drive, like every single thing, like when I want to wake up, what I want to do for work, those types of things. And I can't tell you the exact timeline of where I'm going to be during that journey, but I know that every single day passing, I'm going to get closer to it.
Mhm.
And I think that a lot of people, when they have no vision of the future, you'd be like, what would you wish for? Most people are like, passive income so I could sit down and chill.
Yeah.
Like their idea of the future is to do nothing.
Yeah.
Like that's what they think
How
is.
can I be as lazy as possible?
Even when you ask people, like, you're like, what would you do when you retire? They're like, oh, I would travel. What are you gonna do when you travel? Oh, just chill and enjoy music,
Enjoy
enjoy the
food,
music,
enjoy the
enjoy the beach. Yeah.
culture.
But like
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's like really what you're doing is like you're gonna spend maybe 6 months sitting on beaches, having a drink, having a good food, and then you're gonna be like, well, I need to do something
Mhm.
because everyone needs a purpose. Like doing nothing is like I don't know why that even needs to be explained to people, but like doing nothing is not the fucking goal. That's hell. Like
Right.
you have to have a dream, you have to have a vision, a purpose, like a why behind the what. Because
Mhm.
if your goal is a what, then it's empty.
Mhm.
And that's why people are like, oh, but I just want to get to the point where I can just go and travel. I just want to get to the point where I can just go and do that. It's like that
Well,
is a form of escapism. That's like a
hmm.
form of like I want to go
Ish.
and do this thing, but it's like why? You can't find peace where you are? Like you can't find that? Like
Mm.
you don't enjoy the journey going towards something amazing?
Ish, yeah, and I agree with that. I especially agree with the last part of that. That form of escapism being like you just feel the need to like not be where you are right now. It's like this shittiness that you feel or something, and you want to avoid that. So you're like, oh, I just want to be here, like not doing the thing that I need to do to be able to get there. And I like how you said that, and I think it's important to enjoy the journey and to appreciate where you are and be present and all of those things, but like I still struggle with that as well. Like it's hard to be you know what I mean? Like be in the shittiness or be in the mud and like be working towards all those things that you want to enjoy, and a lot of people are just doing just that. And I think that's also part of the problem is like they've created this life where they don't like what they're doing, they're not in the right mindset to be able to ever even enjoy the hard work. And then once they even get to that point, maybe they get to the point and they are like, fuck yeah, like I made it and now I get to enjoy the rest of my life until I die and I just get to do nothing and sit on a beach with the drinks or whatever. But like the people in my life that I think of that are like kind of that same mindset, like my dad specifically, is like he works so hard and he doesn't enjoy like the stress and the shit and whatever, but he finds like the love of it, and then he gets to go do fun shit like explore. And even he is not able to sit on a beach and enjoy, well, he doesn't drink, but like sit on a beach and just do nothing. When we go on vacation, he's exploring, he's hiking, he's like talking to locals, and like he's trying new foods. And I think that that's kind of where I disagree a little bit of the whole like escapism thing, is that I don't believe that like traveling specifically is a form of escapism, because you could find so much meaning and so much impact in like exploring different cultures if that's your fucking thing. Whereas like someone might just be like, I enjoy woodworking and like having a family business and like just creating furniture, and that's like the rest of my life and I don't need to escape that. But the whole point is the mindset, which is what I agree with. It's like, do you feel like you don't like your life? Like, do you feel like you want to avoid the shit that you have to do on the daily to like survive or get by or whatever it is? Like, do you feel like you want to escape your life and go to this faraway land where you think it's all bright and fucking happy? Because trust me, if God literally picked you up and put you in that spot right now, you would still feel like shit there.
100%.
That's the whole point, is that you get to do all of this work and you get to feel all of these emotions and you get to meet all these cool people, and all of these things will get you to this point where you're like, I've made it and I have all these things. And guess what? When you get to that point, you're going to have more things that you're like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like it continues forever. So yeah, I think that part of it's really cool.
I agree. Well, I gotta pee. Hold on 1 second, then we'll do closing thoughts.
Piss time.
Oh my god, that was a magical piss.
Every time you go pee, you're always like, oh,
Oh.
wow, that was so good.
Well, it's just The pressure builds up, and I don't know, like, if you notice my leg just bouncing away at 1,000,000 miles a second
But you
before I
kind of
went.
do that anyways.
Yeah, it's so hard to focus when you have to pee.
Yeah. I feel
So
that.
bad, and I just feel like it's such a relief when you pee. For me, it's probably, when they say like a sneeze is like a quarter of an orgasm or whatever they say. What do they say?
Yeah, I don't know, like an eighth. I don't think that's true. Maybe
If a sneeze is an
sometimes.
eighth, dude,
Maybe
a
not.
piss is half of a cum. Especially
What?
like it's kind of the same.
No.
No, well, it's not, but it's kind of
Like it
the same.
feels good, but like wow, are like male orgasms like not good?
No,
Like
they're good. No, they're cool, but I'm just saying, like, it
what?
feels so nice to pee.
Yeah, it does. It feels nice, especially when you have a lot of pressure built up. Anyways, I feel like this is a little bit.
You don't think
We don't have to keep talking about
this
peeing.
isn't good podcasting? This isn't what
This is what the people want.
this is what they want. You don't think that everyone
yeah,
listening?
leave a comment.
I also love to pee.
is peeing half of an orgasm? Is the feeling of peeing half of the feeling of an orgasm?
Peeing is fire. That's if I were to comment on this,
fire.
I'd say peeing equals fire emoji.
Peeing is lit.
Peeing equals fire emoji. Don't you think?
Yeah, I guess. Like
Everyone listening to this is going.
Yeah.
It does feel pretty good.
It does. I agree. It does feel good, but just like not. It's not that intense. Like you're making it. Like that's what I'm saying. Every time you go, you're always like, oh, like every time, and I'm like, chill. Like it's not that good.
I think that I think that at least every dude listening to this is going
to agree.
Is going.
We'll see. I really need
It
I don't
feels
know.
pretty good.
I need some how do you say this? Cooperation? Is that correct?
I don't know what you're trying to say.
I need some people to give Mark's story some validation, or I need some
corroboration.
Cooperation. Is that correct?
Corroboration.
Yeah. Cooperation.
Corroboration.
Haram.
Is that the word? I don't know if that's the word. Any closing thoughts?
Hi Jessie. I love that she loves to chill with us. Closing thoughts. I don't know. I guess maybe just if you're feeling lonely and you're feeling in that place of like desperation for another human being, just take a quick look at your life and reflect a little bit. And I think that's kind of what I'll be doing is I'll be reflecting, especially over the next couple of days, of just my year and my habits and what I'll be changing. I think that's a good send off into 2024.
Beautiful. Well, everybody listening, I will see you on Thursday. I love you all. Please let us know what you think about this. You can comment in the comment section below. Rate it 5 stars. Leave a little review. That's pretty much it. See you guys on Monday. Much love. Peace out. Love you all. Happy New Year. Bye.
Bye.